Have you ever been navigating a conversation in English, feeling pretty confident, and then suddenly a phrase pops up that makes you pause? Not because you don't know the words, but because their combined meaning feels like, I don't know, a secret handshake you're not quite in on.
Oh, definitely. Like someone mentioned something was a dime a dozen, perhaps.
Exactly. Or a situation was going off the rails, and you're just left wondering what exactly they meant beyond the literal words.
Yeah, it's a common experience, even for advanced speakers, you know. Everyday English is less about individual words sometimes, and more about these linguistic shortcuts, these kind of shared cultural references that pack a whole lot of meaning into just a few words.
And that's precisely what we're here for today. We're taking a deep dive into the truly fascinating world of American idioms, slang, and common phrases.
Yeah, we've pulled from a really comprehensive collection of these everyday expressions.
We have. And our mission isn't just to define them, but to really unpack their nuances, maybe some surprising origins, and most importantly, how you can use them like a native speaker.
Right, to give you that key so you feel truly in the know.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. First up, let's talk about getting ready for what's ahead and how we sometimes communicate really directly.
Okay.
So if someone tells you to buckle in, it's rarely about actual seatbelts, is it?
No, not usually. It signals a need to prepare for something difficult or challenging, often a significant mental or, emotional effort.
Right. Like, think of a college professor preparing their students. They might tell them to buckle in for an intense semester, kind of implying a period of really demanding studies coming up.
It's a vivid example, isn't it? Taking a physical action and applying it figuratively. The buckling in suggests securing yourself not just physically, but mentally for the turbulent ride ahead.
Securing yourself mentally. I like that.
Yeah. It implies the upcoming challenge needs, fortitude and sustained effort.
That idea of directness and getting to the point brings us to cut to the chase.
Yes.
When you want someone to stop rambling and just get to the main idea, this phrase comes to mind. But there's a crucial nuance here, isn't there? It's not always the most polite option.
That's a really critical distinction, yeah. Cut to the chase isn't just about efficiency. It's often a subtle assertion of, conversational control.
Okay.
So while it's great for quickly getting information, knowing when to use it and who you're talking to, that says a lot about your understanding of social dynamics.
Right. You've got to read the room.
Exactly. If someone's sharing something deeply personal or complex, telling them to cut to the chase can kind of shut down a nuanced discussion or even feel, dismissive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The real wisdom is in its strategic application. Is the situation just about saving time? Or is it about valuing the speaker's process?
So it's directness, but with an awareness of the, let's say, social cost. Great point. And speaking of thoroughness, let's explore the whole 9 yards.
A classic.
This phrase means someone has thought of absolutely everything, all the details, hasn't forgotten anything. It's a strange phrase to many, right? Especially since the U.S. typically uses measurements of 10.
Yeah, it seems odd.
Yet it universally signifies completeness. Like someone meticulously planning a wedding, from the venue to the catering. They're truly thinking of the whole 9 yards.
It's one of those idioms where the exact origin is debated. You hear military references, sewing, even American football.
Right, lots of theories.
But its meaning is crystal clear. It goes beyond just completion. It implies meticulousness, attention to every single detail, making sure nothing's overlooked. It's kind of a cultural shorthand for absolute thoroughness.
Okay, so from setting the stage, let's pivot a bit to navigating life's ups and downs, thinking specifically about costs, health, and maybe making mistakes.
Right.
We often hear things, cost an arm and a leg. This is a classic idiom, still incredibly common today.
Oh, yeah, you hear it all the time.
And it simply means something is very, very expensive, like those elaborate weddings we just mentioned. They can definitely cost an arm and a leg.
It perfectly captures that sense of extreme financial sacrifice, doesn't it? Such a vivid image, parting with something really significant.
It really is.
And what's interesting is how it's endured. It's a phrase that immediately conveys a high price point in a way that just saying expensive maybe doesn't quite manage.
Right, it has more impact.
Yeah, it implies a cost so high it feels like you're losing a part of yourself.
And speaking of things that can be costly, getting sick often comes with its own set of issues. If someone's not feeling well, we often hear the polite phrase, under the weather. Now, how exactly does this phrase differ from just saying someone is sick? And what kind of illness does it usually refer to?
That's a key distinction. Under the weather almost exclusively implies a mild temporary issue. A common cold, maybe a slight headache, or just feeling a bit off for a day or two.
Okay, so not serious.
Definitely not. You would never use it for someone with a serious or chronic illness. It's really a social convention. It allows for a polite, brief explanation without inviting too many detailed questions about private health stuff.
Oh, I see.
It's kind of the linguistic equivalent of a light cough versus, say, a hospital visit.
So it's really about that social grace more than a clinical diagnosis.
Right.
That makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
Now, have you ever felt like you're trying to solve a problem or find information, but you're just not making progress because your whole approach is, well, wrong?
Oh, sure. Been there.
That's when you might be barking up the wrong tree. This idiom means you're pursuing the wrong thing or you've made a mistake in your thinking.
Right.
Its origin, people think it comes from hunting dogs mistakenly barking at an empty tree.
Yeah, the image is great.
It vividly illustrates this core meaning of misdirection. For example, you'd definitely be barking up the wrong tree if you ask someone who's never even been to the UK about common British phrases.
Indeed, the imagery is powerful. And the deeper nuance is how it's used in arguments or investigations. Sometimes it's a way to gently or maybe sometimes pointedly suggest someone's entire premise or approach is flawed.
So it's more fundamental than a small error.
Often, yes.
Right.
It's less about a minor mistake and more about a fundamental misunderstanding of the situation or the person you're dealing with. It implies a waste of effort because the foundation is just incorrect.
That's a key distinction there.
Yeah.
And shifting gears just slightly, if something is a dime a dozen, what does that describe?
Dime a dozen. It describes something really common, cheap, and easy to find, like those typical non-rare cards in a collector's pack.
Okay, so very common.
Very common, yes. And while you'll hear it frequently on U.S. television and maybe in older media, it's interesting, not all native speakers use it personally in their everyday chats anymore.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a great example of how language evolves, right? Certain phrases, while everyone understands them, might sort of fall out of active common usage for some groups or regions. It also carries that connotation of being unremarkable, maybe even disposable.
Unremarkable. Got it. Okay, now let's move into the realm of actions, challenges, and facing fears.
All right, let's do it.
If you're working hard at the gym, pushing through the burn, or maybe grinding away on a difficult project, you've probably heard or even said, no pain, no gain.
Oh, yeah. A classic motivator.
It quite literally means you need to work hard, make sacrifices to achieve success, whether that's building muscle from exercise or finally finishing that really challenging school paper.
This idiom just encapsulates a fundamental principle, doesn't it? That significant progress often demands effort, maybe discomfort, and definitely perseverance. It's less about advocating for, literal physical pain.
Right, hopefully not.
And more about endorsing the mental fortitude you need to push through challenges. It's a motivational phrase, implying that without some struggle, there won't be significant improvement or reward.
And for confronting fears head on, we have take the bull by the horns.
Ooh, a strong one.
This is all about confronting a fear by doing the very thing you're scared of. It's used very figuratively, of course. Like if you're terrified of public speaking, but you sign up for a speech class anyway,
yes,
you are absolutely taking the bull by the horns.
It's such a powerful metaphor for direct confrontation and bravery. It really encourages decisive action when you're facing daunting challenges, rather than, avoidance or procrastination.
Seizing control.
Yeah, the imagery conveys that sense of seizing control over a tough situation.
Now, on the flip side of pushing through, sometimes you just have to throw in the towel.
Right, sometimes you do.
Meaning to give up. This phrase comes from fighting, doxing specifically, where a white towel is thrown into the ring to signal surrender. I remember a great example from the sources. A child wanting to throw in the towel on basketball because they were frustrated. But after being encouraged to keep going, they eventually found enjoyment and stuck with it.
That perfectly illustrates that decisive moment of conceding defeat. Whether it's in a competition, a task, or even an argument, it's a very visual phrase, easily understood as giving up.
Definitely.
But it also makes you think, doesn't it, about when giving up is strategic and when it's maybe prematurely abandoning potential success, like in that basketball example.
Good point. And when you're finally ready to do something significant, something you've been thinking about or waiting to do, you make a move.
Okay.
This idiom is used when you're finally going to take action, a big action, whether it's asking someone out on a date or making a major career decision.
It implies that shift from just thinking or waiting to actively pursuing something.
Right, from passive to active.
Exactly. It's about initiating a significant step, whether in personal life, professional stuff, or even just daily tasks. It carries a sense of intention and decisiveness.
Let's shift our focus now to social interactions and those surprising occurrences that pepper our daily lives.
Fun stuff. Okay.
If someone is unusually silent, or maybe you suspect they're not responding because they feel guilty or caught off guard, you might playfully, or perhaps a little sassily, ask, "Cat got your tongue?"
Yeah.
It's often heard dramatically in TV shows and movies. Right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a playfully accusatory phrase, often used when someone's unexpectedly quiet and you're kind of probing for a reason.
Right.
Its dramatic use in media certainly reinforces its somewhat theatrical nature, implying a situation where someone is rendered speechless by surprise or embarrassment, or maybe even fear.
And when a problem, or maybe a solution, clearly requires two people, we say it takes two to tango.
Ah, yes. Shared responsibility.
Exactly. This idiom highlights that two people are involved, either in causing a problem or needing to work together to solve one. Like if two kids get into trouble, a parent might say, "It takes two to tango," implying both are kind of guilty.
Mm-hmm. It's used casually to emphasize that shared responsibility or mutual contribution.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that sometimes situations aren't just one-sided, and both parties contribute, whether that's positively or negatively. It's especially useful when trying to get people to acknowledge their part in a conflict or even a joint effort.
Okay, next up, speak of the devil.
This one's incredibly common.
It really is.
Yeah.
When you're talking about someone and then, bam, they unexpectedly walk into the room, almost as if summoned by your conversation.
Yep, happens all the time.
It's always struck me as a bit peculiar given the word devil. What's the story behind that? And is it ever considered rude?
That's a great question. It's a classic example of an idiom where the literal meaning has pretty much zero bearing on its common use today.
Okay.
While it does originate from an old superstitious belief that mentioning the devil would make an appear,
Okay.
today it's simply a lighthearted acknowledgement of coincidence. Despite the word devil, it is not considered rude at all. It's usually met with a chuckle and a shared recognition of the surprising timing.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it really underscores how language can evolve far beyond its origin, sort of shedding its darker connotations for just everyday casual use.
That's fascinating how meanings can lighten up over time.
Isn't it?
And staying in this realm of social things, if something becomes incredibly popular and you become a fan only because of its popularity, you jump on the bandwagon.
Right, the bandwagon fan.
Exactly. Often used to describe fans of sports teams who only show up when the team's winning. But it applies equally to any popular trend, idea, or product.
It really speaks to that phenomenon of following trends or popular movements for external reasons, doesn't it? Rather than genuine, long-standing interest.
Yeah, it seems that way.
It often carries a slight negative connotation, implying maybe a lack of authentic commitment or independent thought, suggesting someone is just going along with the crowd because it's easy or fashionable right now.
Sometimes, though, you come across something so incredibly unexpected, it seems to come from absolutely nowhere, like out of left field.
Oh yeah, that's a good one for surprise.
It describes something extremely surprising or totally unforeseen, like an unexpected pregnancy announcement from someone you didn't even know was dating anyone.
Whoa, yeah, that would be out of left field. It actually comes from baseball.
Does it?
Yeah, where a hit to left field can sometimes be difficult to track or catch if you're not positioned correctly or expecting it. So figuratively, it denotes something truly surprising or unconventional, often with an element of shock.
Baseball. Makes sense.
It implies the event or idea just defies all expectations, making it hard to process or prepare for. It's usually used to describe something jarring, whether it's good news or bad news.
Jarring. That's a perfect visual for surprise. Okay, let's talk about describing quality, normality, and deviations from the norm.
All right. Quality and weirdness. Got it.
A game changer. This describes something that either really positively or maybe negatively impacts things, fundamentally altering a situation. The iPhone is often cited as a classic game changer example, right? Offering both incredible communication ease and, well, perhaps the potential for too much screen time.
Absolutely. This phrase signifies a pivotal innovation or event that fundamentally alters a whole landscape. It's about a shift in the status quo, for better or worse, making a huge impact on how things are done. It describes a transformative force.
Transformative force.
Okay.
And if something is top-notch.
Simple. It just means it's of the highest quality, truly the best.
Right. Like you could describe a famous restaurant's food as top-notch.
Yep.
Or compliment a teacher as top-notch for their excellent teaching.
Top-notch is straightforward but strong. It's a compliment denoting excellence without needing much explanation. It's versatile products, performances, whatever, implying nothing really gets better than that.
Now, for something a bit more relaxed, low-key, this has become incredibly popular, especially as a slang phrase.
Very popular now.
While it fundamentally means relaxed or understated, what's kind of fascinating is its application. It's not just about a quiet event, but often a deliberate choice to avoid flashiness, right?
Yeah.
To keep things authentic.
Exactly. It implies a certain cool factor in its understatedness, almost a countercultural vibe against overt displays. A party could be low-key, or a person can be described as low-key if they're generally relaxed and unassuming.
Yeah, I like that cool factor idea.
It perfectly captures a preference for simplicity and avoiding overt displays or intensity. It's about a relaxed atmosphere or a personality that doesn't demand attention, finding value in quietude and authenticity rather than, extravagance.
Then we have off the wall.
Ah, the opposite, maybe.
Pretty much. It describes something super unusual, eccentric, or just not the way people usually do things. It can also imply something is strange or even bad, like a really off-the-wall idea in a meeting that just didn't make any sense to anyone.
Off the wall suggests a significant deviation from the norm, often in a quirky or surprising way. Depending on the context, yeah, it can be seen as ingeniously creative or maybe just nonsensical. Right. But it always implies something outside the expected boundaries.
And almost the exact opposite of off the wall is run-of-the-mill.
Yep. Ordinary. Average.
Exactly. It means something is conventional, ordinary, average. A movie with a pretty standard, predictable story might be described as pretty run-of-the-mill.
Run-of-the-mill indicates that lack of distinctiveness or exceptional quality. It places something firmly in the category of ordinary or commonplace, often implying it's unremarkable and perhaps even forgettable.
Forgettable, yeah. Okay, if something is high-end.
This usually means it's expensive, but there's often an implication of luxuriousness or superior quality.
Right, like a high-end apartment in a really nice building.
Exactly. It's a common way to talk about cost without explicitly sounding like you're bragging about spending money.
That's a good point.
It's a nuanced way of discussing value, implying the cost is justified by superior quality, design, or exclusivity, rather than just being expensive for its own sake. It hints at a certain level of sophistication.
Sophistication.
Okay.
And when something is extremely good, like better than anyone else, it's described as next level.
Oh, yeah, that's a big compliment these days.
Your presentation skills could be next level, or even a delicious cookie could be next level because it's just beyond comparison.
This is definitely a contemporary compliment. It suggests an exceptional degree of skill or quality that surpasses current standards. It implies a leap in performance or excellence, pushing boundaries beyond what was previously expected or achieved.
Pushing boundaries. I like it. And finally, for this quality section, something rock solid.
Strong and reliable.
Exactly. Strong, solid, reliable. You could say a marriage or friendship is rock solid, meaning it's incredibly stable and dependable.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could even describe a physically strong table as rock solid. It's quite literal sometimes, too.
Rock solid conveys that ultimate sense of stability and dependability. It's a powerful descriptor for anything that is unyielding, consistently trustworthy, or just built to last. It promises reliability.
Okay, let's talk about navigating the abstract territory now, our thoughts, feelings, and the often unseen consequences of our decisions.
All right, getting into the mind a bit.
Yeah, life throws abstract challenges our way every day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dealing with stress, difficult choices, even self-deception. This is where some really potent idioms come into play.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, when emotions run high and focus is needed, you might find yourself needing to get it together.
Yes, the self-pep talk.
Totally. It means to calm down and focus on work or whatever needs doing. But you do need to be careful using this with other people, right? Emotions can be fragile.
Absolutely. This idiom is about self-regulation and regaining composure, especially when you feel overwhelmed. It highlights the importance of managing your internal state to function effectively, emphasizing a return to mental and emotional balance.
Balance, okay. And when a deal seems too good to be true.
The alarm bells go off.
Right. You might instinctively ask, what's the catch? This implies there's something unexpected, usually hidden, that will make the deal difficult or bad.
Like hidden fees or something.
Exactly, like hidden interest rates on a supposedly great car deal that suddenly makes it way less appealing.
It's an expression of healthy skepticism, isn't it? A natural inclination to probe for hidden conditions when an offer appears just too advantageous. It encourages critical examination, reminding us that truly exceptional deals often have some kind of downside or hidden cost.
Always read the fine print. Now imagine you're faced with two really difficult choices where you don't really want either option. This is when you're between a rock and a hard place, or maybe have to choose between two evils. How do these two similar phrases actually differ?
That's a great question because they are often confused. Between a rock and a hard place usually applies when both choices are difficult, maybe inconvenient, but neither is inherently bad or morally wrong.
Okay, just difficult.
Yeah. For example, choosing between spending time with your mother or your girlfriend on a specific holiday, both are positive relationships, presumably, but you'll disappoint someone either way.
Right, gotcha.
Choosing between two evils, however, is used when both choices have genuinely negative, often harmful implications for people or outcomes.
Ah, okay, much more serious.
Exactly, like having to choose between two unpopular but perhaps necessary policies, both of which will have negative consequences for someone. One implies personal discomfort, the other often implies broader harm.
That clarifies it perfectly. Thanks. And what about living in denial?
Yeah.
This means doing things without thinking about the consequences or just ignoring what's going to happen. For instance, eating unhealthy food and pretending it's fine, despite what the doctor says. That's kind of living in denial. This makes me wonder, is ignorance is bliss always good advice?
Well, living in denial refers to that psychological avoidance of an uncomfortable truth or reality. It really questions the wisdom of deliberate ignorance, making you think about accountability and foresight.
Right.
While ignorance is bliss suggests happiness can come from not knowing unpleasant facts, living in denial implies a potentially self-destructive avoidance of reality, which could lead to negative consequences down the line.
So one's maybe fleeting, the other's potentially damaging.
Exactly. It's the difference between maybe a brief moment of comfort and a longer-term self-deception.
Okay. Sometimes, despite our best intentions or even our pride, you just have to swallow your pride.
Yep, happens to us all.
It means asking for help or admitting you don't know something, even if it feels embarrassing or difficult. Like, cleaning a huge, messy house might require you to swallow your pride and ask for help.
Or learning a new language.
Oh, definitely. Mastering a new language might mean swallowing your pride constantly to ask for definitions and clarifications.
This idiom really speaks to humility, doesn't it? And the willingness to set aside self-importance for a greater good, whether that's personal growth, getting practical help, or just learning something new. It's about overcoming ego for pragmatic reasons.
Okay, if someone is reacting in a very exaggerated or dramatic way, we might say it's over the top.
Yeah, or OTTs sometimes.
Right. It's generally a negative thing to say, implying someone is being too much, maybe for attention, like someone crying dramatically during a proposal when everyone knew it was coming.
Over the top describes excessive or disproportionate emotional display or behavior. It critiques that theatricality, implying a reaction is maybe disingenuous or designed to draw undue attention rather than genuinely reflecting the situation. It's about a lack of authenticity, perhaps.
Authenticity.
Okay.
And on a somewhat similar note, something cheesy.
Cheesy.
This generally means it's tacky and maybe over-sentimental, like sharing too many feelings on social media in a way that feels forced or insincere. It can also just describe something as bad or, insincere.
Cheesy captures that sense of awkward sentimentality or maybe a lack of genuine sophistication. It's about things that are perceived as trying too hard to be emotional or charming, cool, and often resulting in an unauthentic or kind of uncool impression. It's the opposite of understated elegance, maybe.
Understated elegance. Good contrast. On a more positive note, mesmerizing.
Ooh, a lovely word.
Isn't it? It describes something that is very captivating and holds all of someone's attention, like kids completely engrossed watching a movie.
Right. Can't look away.
Or an adult experiencing the Grand Canyon's beauty for the first time. It's typically a very positive word.
Mesmerizing conveys an intense, almost hypnotic allure. It's about something that completely absorbs your focus because of its profound beauty or intrigue or some compelling quality that makes it impossible to look away. It implies a captivating power.
Captivating power. Nice. Now, the phrase work up is incredibly versatile.
Oh, yeah, lots of uses.
You can work up the courage to ask someone out, work up an appetite by exercising, work up a sweat by cleaning vigorously.
Definitely done that.
Or work up the energy to finally tackle a task you've been putting off.
This versatile expression highlights that process of generating or accumulating something, whether it's an emotion, a physical state, or motivation, through sustained effort or activity. It implies a gradual building or cultivation.
Gradual building. Okay. And finally, for this section, to blow off some steam.
Essential sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. It means to release stress, anger, or general pressure, often by doing something fun or relaxing, like hard workers unwinding on the weekend with friends.
The image is so clear, isn't it? Like a boiling teapot releasing steam.
Exactly.
It's a vivid metaphor for emotional release, emphasizing the physiological and psychological need to alleviate internal pressure for your own well-being. It underscores the importance of finding healthy outlets for stress, preventing a boil-over into more destructive behaviors.
Healthy outlets. Good point. Okay, let's shift our gaze now to handling information and strategic action.
All right, strategy and info.
To flip the script. This means to change your approach, your direction, or even your whole attitude towards something in a really dramatic way.
A big turnaround.
Yeah, like a failing student who suddenly starts studying like crazy, asking questions, getting good grades. They have definitely flipped the script.
Flipping the script implies that dramatic and often positive reversal of roles or circumstances. It suggests taking control and actively altering a narrative or situation that was previously going in a negative direction, turning it completely around.
Okay. Now, if someone is talking about really small technical details that are just hard for a general audience to follow.
Getting lost in the details.
So getting into the weeds. You might politely say, maybe we don't need to get into the weeds here, to suggest keeping the conversation more general and accessible.
This idiom highlights the importance of maintaining the right level of detail for your audience, doesn't it? Getting into the weeds can really obscure the main point for people who don't need or understand all those granular specifics.
Right, it can derail the conversation.
Yeah, making it less productive for the broader group.
If you need someone to remember a specific detail for a story or situation to make sense later on, you'd ask them to bear in mind.
Okay, like keep this in mind.
Exactly. For example, if someone tells a story about playing in the snow, they might say, bear in mind it was freezing cold the whole time, which explains why they rushed home so quickly.
Bear in mind is a gentle but firm reminder to hold on to a crucial piece of information. It ensures full comprehension of the context or the narrative. It emphasizes that a particular detail is needed to correctly frame your understanding or judgment.
Okay. To think ahead. Pretty straightforward.
Seems like it. Planning for the future.
Right. It means to consider your future or plan for it, whether that's saving money for retirement, strategizing your next career move, or just planning out next week's activities to make the best use of your time.
Thinking ahead really underscores the value of foresight and strategic planning. It's about anticipating future needs or developments so you can prepare effectively, avoiding reactive decisions by proactively shaping the outcomes you want.
Proactively shaping outcomes. Nice.
Oh.
To zero in on something.
Focus. Intense focus.
Right. It means to focus on it closely or more intensely, often excluding other things. Students might zero in on studying for final exams.
Tunnel vision.
Or a detective might zero in on a prime suspect in an investigation.
This phrase denotes that intense and precise focus, really narrowing your attention to a specific target or objective. It's about concentrating your resources or mental effort on one particular area, ignoring distractions to achieve a sharp, clear understanding or goal.
Okay. When you play by the rules, you're following the guidelines, being honest, not lying, cheating, stealing. Pretty clear.
Seems so.
But it can also imply just adhering to conventional methods. What's the subtle difference there?
Well, playing by the rules fundamentally means adhering to established norms. Yeah, whether they're ethical or procedural. The nuance is that while it generally implies honesty and integrity,
Right.
It can also just refer to following conventional methods, distinguishing it from maybe revolutionary or, like you said earlier, off-the-rails approaches.
Yeah.
So you can play by the rules in a morally upright way, or simply by following established procedures, even if those procedures aren't the most innovative or exciting.
That's a useful distinction. Thanks. And when someone plans something incredibly thoroughly and carefully, trying to anticipate every single detail so nothing goes wrong.
They're leaving nothing to chance.
Exactly. They leave nothing to chance. Wedding planners are famous for this, right? Trying to ensure a perfect day for their clients.
It expresses that meticulous and comprehensive approach to planning, aiming to minimize unforeseen complications or risks. It's about ensuring every possible variable is accounted for, creating a robust plan that anticipates potential pitfalls.
And closely related, leave no stone unturned.
Thorough searching.
Very thorough searching. It means to be incredibly thorough when looking for something, checking everywhere it could possibly be. If you lost your phone and searched the park, leaving no stone unturned.
You looked under benches and the bushes, everywhere.
Everywhere. You literally looked in every conceivable spot.
This idiom emphasizes an exhaustive and diligent search. It's about exploring every possible avenue in the quest for something specific, implying a complete and unwavering commitment to finding what's missing or uncovering information.
Okay. To stay on track.
Keep focused. Stick to the plan.
Exactly. Remaining focused and on schedule with a task or goal. If your family starts getting distracted looking at old photos while supposed to be cleaning,
happens easily.
You might need to gently say, hey, let's stay on track here to actually get the house clean before guests arrive.
Staying on track is all about maintaining focus and adherence to a planned course of action, resisting those distractions and deviations to achieve your goal. It implies discipline and consistency.
Discipline. Okay. And finally, to channel their energy.
Redirecting effort.
Yes. Suggest directing one's time and effort into something, often something more productive or positive. You might tell restless children to channel their energy into reading rather than complaining.
Good luck with that sometimes.
True. Or people might channel their grief after a loss into starting a charity or some foundation.
This idiom highlights that redirection of effort or emotion towards a constructive purpose. It's about transforming raw energy or strong feelings into productive output, finding a positive outlet for what might otherwise be diffused or, destructive.
That was an incredible journey through a huge array of American idioms.
It really was quite a list.
Now, for our quick and quirky round amusing, a rapid fire of everyday phrases that are just as common. Ready?
Let's do it.
Ready?
Word of mouth.
That's how you hear about a business or service, through informal chats with friends or people, not official ads.
It's go time.
Signals it's time to start, get ready, get motivated, often dramatic, like before a big plan kicks off.
Bonus points. Means it's not essential to know or do something, but it'd be really cool or impressive if you did. Adds extra credit, basically.
White knuckles.
When someone's super afraid, gripping something so tight their knuckles turn white, shows extreme tension or fear. Can be a verb too. White-knuckling it.
Going off the rails.
Describes a situation becoming chaotic, out of control, crazy, like a train about to derail. Loss of order.
By all means.
A polite, positive way to give permission means yes, of course, certainly, go right ahead.
Travel light.
Taking only essential things when traveling, avoiding unnecessary stuff, makes the journey easier.
You'll best believe it.
Used to emphasize something is absolutely true, often for reassurance or adding weight to what you're saying.
Acting up.
When something isn't working right, like a computer or AC unit, or when kids are misbehaving, being disruptive.
Night and day.
Describes a huge dramatic difference between two things. Often compares a bad state to a good one, like behavior after good sleep versus none.
Comb through, or go over with a fine-tooth comb.
Comb through is searching carefully. Fine-tooth comb is examining very slowly, precisely, often looking for tiny errors or details. If something stumps you, it's confusing you. You don't know the answer, can't solve the problem.
Elbow grease.
Refers to physical effort, hard work, force needed to clean, repair, or restore something. Manual labor, basically.
Take out anger or aggression.
Releasing stress or anger, usually through physical activity like hitting the gym instead of snapping at someone. Healthy venting?
Harder than it sounds.
Conveys that something seems easy on the surface, like starting a business, but is actually really difficult and challenging to do in reality.
Have the guts.
Means having the courage or being brave enough to do something intimidating, whether it's skydiving or asking someone important out.
Apples and oranges.
means two things are completely different, not comparable, even if they seem similar superficially. Like American football versus global football. Fundamentally different categories.
Cringeworthy.
Describes a moment that's super awkward, embarrassing, makes you feel secondhand embarrassment, like a terrible stand-up comic bombing.
Up their alley.
If something is up their alley, it's perfectly suited to their interests, skills, or preferences, like an anime movie for a huge anime fan.
The audacity.
Used negatively to express disbelief, indignation at someone's boldness, nerve, or hypocrisy, like a boss who's always late criticizing you for being late once.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive that was into the colorful tapestry of American idioms, slang, and common phrases.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
We really peeled back the layers, didn't we? Moving beyond just simple definitions to uncover their surprising context, cultural weight, and how they subtly shape everyday communication.
And the best way to truly master these isn't just listening, right? It's application.
Exactly.
Pick one or two phrases that really resonated with you today and actively try to incorporate them into your conversations, or just listen for them next time you're engaging with English speakers, maybe in media or daily life. You'll start hearing them everywhere, I guarantee it.
That's great advice. This deep dive really goes to show that language is, well, it's a living, breathing thing, constantly evolving, just like us. Always changing.
So as you navigate your own linguistic landscape, what other everyday phrases are you curious about? What might be next on your deep dive list? Have you ever been in a conversation, maybe with a native English speaker, and suddenly you hear something like, wow, it's really raining cats and dogs out there?
Right.
And for a second, do you maybe picture like actual cats and dogs falling?
Yeah. Or maybe someone says, don't spill the beans. And you're looking around for, actual beans.
Exactly. Well, if that sounds familiar, you've stepped into the wonderfully weird world of English idioms. So our deep dive today is all about these fascinating phrases. Expressions where the meaning isn't obvious from just the words themselves. It's more of a hidden, often quite colorful meaning.
Right. And we're basing this on some really great material that looks at common idioms native speakers actually use. It's a good window into how these phrases work in, real life.
What's really fascinating, I think, isn't just how odd they sound sometimes. It's how they manage to pack so much meaning, complex ideas, human feelings, maybe even bits of cultural wisdom into just a few words.
They're like these little linguistic shortcuts, aren't they?
Yeah.
Packed with layers that a literal translation just wouldn't get across.
Absolutely. So our mission for you, the listener, is to kind of unpack some of these. We won't just define them. We want to explore how they, make communication richer, add nuance, and ultimately help you understand conversations better and maybe sound a bit more fluent too.
It's like getting the key to those aha moments.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's dive in then into the wonderful world of idioms. So maybe let's start with how idioms help us talk about our feelings, our moods. Those mornings when you just feel grumpy.
Oh, yeah. That feeling, that's perfectly captured when someone says you woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Right.
It's a classic irritable mood, sometimes for no clear reason at all. The source had a good example, like if you're stomping around the kitchen, your partner might just say, well, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
And everyone instantly knows what that means.
Exactly. It signals the mood without a whole big explanation. It taps into that shared human experience.
It really is universal, isn't it? That instant recognition. Okay, so what about the opposite? When someone is completely tuned in, totally ready to listen.
In that case, they are all ears. It vividly paints a picture of someone giving their full attention, ready to soak it all in. The source mentions, like, a work scenario. You need to talk to your boss about something important. They say, okay, I'm all ears.
It's a really clear signal.
It is polite, but strong. Shows you're being attentive, whether it's, in the office or just chatting with a friend. It really highlights how much we value being heard.
And then there are those moments when everything's just perfect. You feel absolutely amazing, maybe after some great news.
That's when you feel on top of the world.
Love that one.
It's more than just happy, isn't it? It's like ecstatic. It captures that feeling of success, of pure joy. Like the source example, you land a big promotion. You wouldn't just say, I'm happy. You probably exclaim, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah, it paints a much bigger picture.
Definitely. A really powerful way to convey that peak happiness.
But feelings aren't always positive, especially towards others. What about when you deliberately ignore someone because you're annoyed?
That's known as giving someone the cold shoulder.
The cold shoulder, okay.
It means you're purposely ignoring them, usually out of anger or frustration, or maybe just to create some distance. If your partner's been quiet and distant all evening, you might ask, why are you giving me the cold shoulder?
So it names that specific dynamic.
Exactly. It points to that tension, that possible underlying conflict, without maybe having to spell it all out immediately.
Okay, and what if someone's clearly upset, maybe agitated, and you need to encourage them to calm down?
You might tell them to pull yourself together.
Right. It sound a bit harsh sometimes.
It can, yeah. It's quite direct. The source used an example about a false alarm making someone panic, and the advice is, pull yourself together, it was just a false alarm. It's about regaining composure, getting control back. Reflects that sort of cultural value on resilience, maybe.
Makes sense. Yeah. And sticking with strong emotions, there's another way to say someone's really upset or angry.
To be bent out of shape.
Bent out of shape, like physically.
Well, yeah, that's the imagery, isn't it? Like the emotion is literally twisting you. The example was, Janice is bent out of shape because she has to work late. It's just a much more expressive way to say angry or upset. Adds a kind of visual punch.
Okay, so idioms are great for emotions. But emotions often play into big decisions, right? Those moments where we have to choose a path. How do idioms help us talk about decision-making? Like wanting to stay flexible.
Then you'd play something by ear.
Play it by ear, like music.
Sort of, yeah. It means deciding as you go, in the moment, instead of having a fixed plan. Your friend asks about the weekend, you might say, let's just play it by ear.
Perfect for when you don't want to commit.
Exactly. It shows you're okay with a bit of spontaneity, comfortable adapting as things happen.
But then there are those really huge decisions, the life-changing ones. How do we capture the weight of those moments?
That's when you find yourself at a crossroads.
Powerful image.
It really is. It signifies you're at a point where a major decision has to be made, one that could really change your future path. Thinking about the bigger picture, this idiom taps into something truly universal, those big life choices.
Like changing careers after years.
Precisely. The source mentions someone considering that after 10 years as a graphic designer, saying, I'm at a crossroads. It just resonates because, well, we've all faced those kinds of moments.
And what if someone's just stuck? Avoiding making that big decision.
Then they might be sitting on the fence.
Sitting on the fence. So not choosing either side.
Exactly. Delaying a difficult choice. Refusing to commit one way or the other. The source example was a boss being vague about a promotion. He's just sitting on the fence. It describes that common avoidance tactic pretty well. Being stuck in limbo.
Okay. What about when people overreact? Take a tiny issue and blow it up into a huge deal.
That's making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Taking something minor and making it seem incredibly serious. Like getting one wrong answer on a test and acting like it's the end of the world. Someone might gently say, hey, don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
Good for bringing things back into perspective.
Very useful for that, yeah. Reminds us to keep things in proportion.
And if your first plan just completely fails, you need to scrap it and start over.
You go back to the drawing board.
Right, like an architect or designer.
Exactly that feeling. Starting fresh, creating a whole new plan because the first one didn't work out. Strategy fails at work, the team leader might say, okay, well, let's go back to the drawing board.
Shows resilience, I guess.
It does. Highlights that iterative process of problem solving. Trying again.
And what about those awful situations where, every option seems bad, no easy way out?
That's being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Oof. Sounds uncomfortable.
It is. It describes being in a dilemma where there's no good choice, no easy solution. The example given was tough. Getting a promotion requires moving abroad, but your partner won't go. You're truly between a rock and a hard place.
Captures that feeling of being trapped, yeah.
Perfectly. It articulates those really complex no-win predicaments.
Okay, so we've covered emotions, decisions. Let's shift gears a bit. What about idioms related to, say, effort, efficiency, and maybe those surprising things life throws at us? First one, a real classic motivator.
Has to be no pain, no gain.
Yep. Heard that one a lot, especially at the gym.
Exactly. It directly links hard work and discomfort to getting results. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you often have to push through difficulty. Like the source said, if you want to improve public speaking, no pain, no gain, you have to get uncomfortable.
It's about pushing your boundaries.
Precisely. A classic phrase for personal growth.
Okay, what about when something seems complicated but actually isn't?
You'd say, It's not rocket science.
Right. Kind of dismisses the difficulty.
Yeah, it's a great way to make something feel less daunting. Like, learning this software isn't rocket science, you just need to practice a bit. Or the source example, becoming a confident English speaker is not rocket science. You just have to practice speaking.
Encourages people to just give it a go.
Exactly. Demystifies it.
Now, on the flip side, what about wasting time doing something that's already been done perfectly well?
That's reinventing the wheel.
And usually used negatively, right? Like, don't.
Almost always, yeah. Don't reinvent the wheel. It means wasting effort trying to create something that already exists and works fine. Your boss might say it if you're about to create a presentation from scratch when there's a perfectly good template available.
Crucial for efficiency, especially at work.
Definitely. Work smarter, not harder, essentially.
How about describing something that hardly ever happens, like super rare?
That happens once in a blue moon.
A blue moon. Is that actually a thing?
It is, technically, a second full moon in a calendar month. But the idiom just means very, very rarely. I only see my cousin Sarah once in a blue moon.
Adds a nice poetic touch to just saying rarely.
It does. Makes the rarity feel a bit more special.
Okay, this next one is fun. That weird coincidence when you're talking about someone and then suddenly there they are.
Speak of the devil.
Right. Even though it sounds negative, it's not, is it?
Not at all. It's just surprising coincidence. You're chatting about your colleague Bob, and Bob walks into the room. Speak of the devil.
It's just acknowledging that funny timing.
Exactly. A lighthearted way to point out that synchronicity.
Now, what about when something seems really bad at first, like a disaster, but it turns out to have a positive outcome later?
That would be a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise.
Yeah. A situation that looks like bad luck initially, but leads to something unexpectedly good down the line. Source had a strong example. Getting fired feels awful, right? But then you find a much better job, one you love. So, in hindsight, getting fired was a blessing in disguise.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we actually look for that silver lining?
That's a great point. It prompts that kind of reflection, reframing negative events as potential opportunities.
And finally, in this section, what about when someone's doing something risky, something that could easily backfire?
They are skating on thin ice.
Ooh, vivid. You can almost feel the ice cracking.
Exactly. It's a clear warning about dangerous or risky behavior. The example was, he's skating on thin ice by lying to his wife. It implies the situation is precarious, that things could go wrong very quickly.
A strong visual for potential consequences. Okay, let's move to our final theme. Idioms about communication, secrets, and different perspectives. First up, letting a secret slip out.
That's to spill the beans.
Spill the beans, like literally.
Not literally, but it captures that idea of something contained suddenly coming out, often accidentally. If you're planning a surprise party, the main instruction is always don't spill the beans.
It's kind of playful, usually.
Often, yeah. Refers to revealing secrets, maybe unintentionally.
And when you need to be direct, maybe because time is short, get straight to the main point.
You cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase, like in a movie.
Exactly that idea. Skip the build-up, get to the action, the important part. In a meeting, if time's running out, you might say, okay, let's cut to the chase. What's the final decision?
Very useful for efficient communication.
Extremely. Values directness and clarity, especially when things need to move quickly.
Okay, here's a really important piece of wisdom, often shared, about not judging based on appearances.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Such a fundamental lesson, really.
It truly is. A reminder to look beyond the superficial, to see the substance underneath. The source used an example of someone hesitant to hire a candidate because of their hair.
Right.
And the response is, well, don't judge a book by its cover. Look at their resume. It pushes back against bias, encourages looking deeper.
So true. Now, sometimes you just have to say the truth, even if it's unpleasant or maybe not very polite.
That's to call a spade a spade.
Calling a spade, so blunt honesty.
Pretty much, yeah. Telling it like it is, without sugarcoating, even if the truth is difficult or uncomfortable. Like the example, let's call a spade a spade. This policy isn't working. It's about confronting reality directly.
Even if it ruffles some feathers.
Right. Values truth over politeness in that context.
And lastly, a really crucial communication skill. Understanding the hidden meaning, what's not being said explicitly.
That's reading between the lines.
Reading between the lines, a bit like being a detective.
In a way, yeah. Trying to understand someone's true feelings or intentions from subtle clues in what they say or write. She said she was fine, but reading between the lines, you could tell she was upset.
Essential for really understanding people.
Absolutely. It allows for a much deeper, more empathetic level of communication, picking up on those unspoken truths.
So as we kind of wrap this up, it feels like understanding idioms is, well, it's way more than just learning vocabulary, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's about getting a deeper feel for the language, for the culture. They pack so much history and shared understanding into these short phrases.
It's a path to like more nuanced communication, both understanding others and expressing yourself.
Absolutely. Knowing these isn't just about sounding fluent, although that's part of it. It's more about genuinely connecting, understanding those subtleties, the color, the humor that makes conversation, well, human.
Yeah, that literal meaning often misses so much.
It really does. Idioms reveal that rich tapestry of a living language.
So for you, the listener, we really hope this deep dive helps you feel a bit more comfortable, more connected when you hear or use these phrases. And maybe next time you hear an idiom that sounds strange,
Don't just ignore it.
right, maybe pause and ask yourself, what's the hidden story here? What kind of cultural idea or common feeling is this little phrase trying to capture? How might it, challenge or deepen my own way of seeing things?
Okay, let's unpack this health rate. It's not just, doctors and hospitals. It's pretty much the constant background noise of our lives, isn't it?
Absolutely.
From those quick chats like, how are you feeling with friends, to much deeper, maybe more significant discussions about family or, serious talks with actual medical professionals.
It's deeply personal, yeah, but also totally universal. Everyone deals with it.
And what I find really fascinating is how we talk about it. The words, the phrases we pick. They can totally shape how we understand things, maybe even what we do about them.
Precisely. And we often throw around these health terms, these idioms, without fully getting the nuances, maybe, or the specific context that makes them tick.
Right. Like you get the general idea, but maybe miss the finer points.
Yeah.
Or the difference between two phrases that sound kind of similar.
Exactly. So our mission today in this deep dive is basically to pull out those really crucial nuggets of knowledge from your sources on, let's say, advanced health vocabulary. We want to equip you, the listener, with really precise language for talking about both physical and mental well-being. Think of it as like a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Yeah, so you can talk about your own stuff more clearly, understand what others are going through, and just navigate all the health info out there with more clarity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This isn't just, learning vocab lists. It's about unlocking a better way to talk about one of the most important things in life. We're doing a real deep dive here into the actual language of health.
Yeah.
We'll cover those everyday idioms, the colorful ones about emotions, then hit some crucial medical acronyms that are just part of daily life now.
Right.
And even dig into some specific terms for mental states, emotional experiences, and the physical side too.
There should be some real aha moments, I think. Definitely. And practical stuff, too. We'll show how knowing this language can actually empower you in ways you might not expect. Okay, so let's kick off with idioms. They're kind of the poetry of health language, right? Packing so much meaning into just a few words.
Especially for our inner world, our emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So first one, to bottle something up. We all kind of know this one, right? Suppressing emotions, hiding them away inside.
Yeah, locking them down.
Like putting a really tight lid on a boiling pot, just hoping it doesn't explode everywhere.
And what's genuinely insightful there, I think, is how that idiom points to this deep internal conflict. Bottling up isn't just forgetting feelings. It's this active, often really exhausting effort to contain powerful stuff, anger, sadness, fear, whatever it is.
Right. And why do people do it? To avoid conflict, look strong, protect others.
All of the above sometimes. Or maybe they just haven't learned healthier ways to cope. Your sources had those great examples like if you keep bottling up your anger, it might eventually explode at the wrong time.
Which isn't just a metaphor, is it?
Not at all. It speaks to the real physiological and psychological toll. Studies show that constantly bottling things up can actually increase stress hormones, raise blood pressure,
Right.
even mess with your immune system. It can show up as tension headaches, stomach problems, or just this vague feeling of unease.
So that advice, it's healthier to talk about your problems than to bottle them up. It's not just fluff.
No, it's fundamental. It points to the need for healthy emotional processing. Releasing that pressure valve before the whole system breaks down. It's key for long-term mental and physical health.
That link to physical consequences is so powerful. It's not abstract. It has real impact. Okay, staying with emotional control. Two idioms that sound super similar but are actually pretty different. To pull yourself together versus to get your act together.
Ah, yes, a classic point of confusion.
So pull yourself together. This is really about regaining control of your emotions, right? Especially when things are going pear-shaped, someone's upset, crying, panicking, and you say, hey, pull yourself together. You're asking them to compose themselves. Find that emotional balance again.
And it nearly always uses that reflexive pronoun, myself, himself, yourself.
Exactly. Pull yourself together. Your sources even had that funny picture, right? The cool cat telling the frantic cat to pull yourself together.
Haha, yeah. It perfectly captures that idea of urging internal composure, like telling your own nerves to straighten up.
So it's internal. What about the other?
Okay, so the distinction here is absolutely crucial. Pull yourself together is profoundly about internal emotional regulation, finding that inner calm when feelings are overwhelming. It's personal, immediate self-control in distress, not ignoring the feeling, but managing how it comes out so you can function.
Okay.
To get your act together, though, that's about external organization, efficiency, getting your life sorted.
So practical stuff.
Exactly. If someone's always late, missing deadlines, their place is a mess. You might say they need to get their act together. It's about becoming more competent, less chaotic in your actions.
So one's internal feeling management, the other's external life management.
Precisely. And while they can be linked, like being emotionally distressed makes it hard to get your act together, they're fundamentally different processes, managing feelings versus managing tasks.
That makes so much sense. And sometimes you feel overwhelmed by both, right? Which brings us nicely to two more similar sounding phrases. To have a lot on your mind versus to have a lot on your plate.
Another pair that gets mixed up.
So a lot on your mind. That's when you're mentally preoccupied, right? Worried, constantly thinking about something.
Yeah, your brain's just buzzing.
Could be money worries, family stuff, a big decision. It often leads to feeling overloaded mentally. Forgetful, maybe. Can't concentrate.
Exactly. Your sources nailed it with examples like, I've had a lot on my mind lately with work deadlines and family issues.
Or he couldn't focus because he had a lot on his mind. It's that internal processing, the mental chatter.
And the nature of that burden is key. A lot on your mind usually implies this emotional or cognitive weight that's hard to just, put down. It's worries, thinking things over and over, that continuous mental effort. It can mess with your sleep, cause anxiety, that kind of thing.
Okay, so how's a lot on your plate different?
A lot on your plate means you're just incredibly busy.
Yeah.
Many different tasks, projects, responsibilities filling up your schedule.
So workload.
Yes, primarily workload. A hefty to-do list, lots of active duties. Now, this can sometimes lead to forgetfulness just because you're juggling so much.
Sure.
But the core meaning is about busyness and practical responsibilities, not necessarily internal worry. You could have a lot on your plate and be totally fine with it, just very occupied.
Okay. So the distinction helps people know how to respond.
Exactly. If you say a lot on my mind, someone might ask, what's worrying you? Offering emotional support.
Right.
If you say a lot on my plate, they might ask, can I help with anything? Offering practical help. Precise language leads to better support.
That is such a great point. Tiny language differences, big impact. And sometimes having all that stuff on your mind or on your plate can lead to our next idiom. To have a short fuse.
Or short temper. Yeah, they mean the same thing.
It just means you get angry easily, right? Lose your temper quickly, maybe over small things.
That sudden snap, yeah. Disproportionate anger.
The phrase itself, short fuse, is so visual, like a bomb about to go off quickly.
It really is. And your sources had that great comic analogy, remember? The two bomb characters, one with a tiny fuse.
Yeah, ready to explode any second.
And what's important here, I think, is that while we talk about it like a personality trait, often it's actually a result of other stuff.
Like you were saying, stress, being overwhelmed.
Exactly. Persistent stress, not enough sleep, chronic pain, just feeling swamped by having a lot on your mind or on your plate. All that can seriously shorten your fuse.
Makes sense. Your coping resources are just depleted.
Precisely. Chronic stress keeps your nervous system on high alert, making you more reactive. So someone normally calm might get snappy just because they're run down.
So it's more empathetic to see it as a symptom sometimes, not just a flaw.
I think so. It encourages looking for the root cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually use it with have, like he has a short fuse when he's tired.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Moving from emotions to our physical state. Let's talk about being fit as a fiddle.
Lovely one.
It really is. Such a nice way to say someone's in excellent health, super physically fit. vibrant, strong.
It implies more than just not sick. It's got this energy to it.
Totally. And it's not just for, your surprisingly spry grandpa. You can use it for anyone in great shape, like that marathon runner example. Wow, you must be fit as a fiddle.
Or someone who juggles a busy life but stays healthy. She stays fit as a fiddle with daily workouts.
And grammatically, it's a simile, right? Using as, not like, fixed phrase.
Right. And the choice of fiddle is interesting, isn't it? It's not just about strength, but like a finely tuned instrument.
Oh, I like that.
It suggests holistic health, optimal performance. A fiddle in good hands is responsive, precise, working perfectly.
So the idiom implies being perfectly balanced, working at your peak. That's quite sophisticated for such a simple phrase.
I think so. Its long history shows how well it captures that idea of peak condition vitality, smooth function, not just muscle.
Okay, so from peak condition to regaining it. Our next one, back on your feet, is great for describing recovery.
Recovery from tough times.
Yeah, usually recovering from an illness or injury, like you've had the flu, stuck in bed, then you're finally up and about again.
You're back on your feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we often say, in no time, right?
Yeah.
Suggesting a quick recovery, you'll be back on your feet in no time.
And what's really useful about this one is how it stretches beyond just physical illness. It captures regaining stability, getting back to normal after any kind of setback.
Ah, so not just sickness.
No. It works beautifully for emotional recovery or even financial trouble. Your sources had those two perfect examples.
Oh yeah, the podiatry one.
Right. The podiatry team ad. Getting you back on your feet. Clever pun, literal and figurative recovery. And then the more serious one. Steps to get back on your feet financially after identity fraud.
Wow. Okay, so it really covers returning to stability after any major knock.
Exactly. It speaks to that universal human drive to overcome hardship and regain control.
That's really useful. But sometimes, before you get back on your feet, you might be feeling run down.
Ah, yes. That feeling of deep exhaustion.
It's more than just tired, isn't it? It means feeling totally wiped out, depleted, exhausted, drained, worn out.
Your energy reserves are just gone. Body and mind screaming for a rest.
And it often implies you're so drained your defenses are down, right? Like that example. He was so run down from stress that he caught a cold.
Precisely. It suggests a cumulative effect of prolonged strain, maybe lots of travel, chronic stress, intense work.
Like the end of the semester feeling.
Exactly. I always feel run down at the end of the semester. It captures that collective mental and emotional depletion perfectly.
So recognizing you're truly run down, not just tired, is important for self-care.
Absolutely. It's a signal you need genuine rest before something more serious happens. Preventative awareness.
Got it. And sometimes being run down or facing illness might lead to, needing surgery. Which brings us to our last idiom here. To go under the knife.
A very direct, quite informal one.
Yeah, it creates a real image, doesn't it? Literally under the surgeon's knife.
And while it means exactly the same as undergo surgery or have an operation, that informality is key. It raises that point about tone in health talks. Surgery is serious, often life-changing.
So people might prefer more formal words.
Often, yes. Especially in clinical settings, we're talking about something major. Undergo surgery conveys the gravity better.
But maybe with close friends.
Exactly. In casual chats, going under the knife might be used to quickly say what's happening, maybe even with a bit of dark humor as a coping thing.
Like that Halloween comic example.
Yeah.
The jack-o'-lantern.
Yes, the carved pumpkin saying, "I went under the knife, do you like it?" It's morbidly funny, but perfectly shows how the phrase indicates surgery, even lightly.
Okay, let's shift again. From idioms to a different kind of shortcut. Acronyms.
Ah, the alphabet soup of health talk.
Totally. Our health conversations are packed with them. Medical reports, news, just casual chats. They're everywhere. And knowing what they mean is like having a superpower, really. It's basic health literacy now, even if you're not in the field.
Yeah.
A real shortcut to understanding.
Absolutely true. They simplify these complex conditions or procedures into easy-to-say unips. They allow quicker communication, like in busy hospitals, but you have to know the meaning behind the letters to avoid confusion.
Right. So first one, you've definitely heard this. ADHD. Stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It's a complex neurological thing, characterized by ongoing patterns of inattentiveness, hyperactivity, impulsivity.
And it's a spectrum, right?
Exactly. That's crucial. It ranges from pretty mild, maybe just some focus issues or restlessness, to really severe cases that seriously impact daily life, learning, relationships.
Yeah.
And what's striking is how everyone just says ADHD. you almost never hear the full name.
It's completely taken over.
Yeah, and I bet most people listening know someone with ADHD. It's so common.
Yeah.
Your sources had those funny, relatable examples.
Oh, yeah, the joke.
ADHD, your secrets are safe with me because I probably wasn't listening.
Captures the inattentiveness.
And the other one, look, I have ADHD, so you need to be way more interesting.
Right. They're lighthearted, but they subtly point to the real challenges with focus and engagement.
But it's important to remember it's not just a joke. Right?
Absolutely. Behind the relatable humor is a genuine neurological condition with real daily hurdles, executive function, emotional regulation, getting things done. It's not a character flaw. The brain's just wired differently.
Yeah.
And that raises the question, how do we balance that casual use with the clinical reality?
Yeah, because misconceptions are common. Like it's only kids or it's just bad discipline.
Exactly. Understanding the real definition helps build empathy and allows for more accurate conversations.
A really crucial point.
Okay.
Okay, next up. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, a serious condition caused by experiencing or witnessing something truly traumatic. We often hear about it with veterans, soldiers who've seen combat.
And sadly, many do struggle with it.
Yeah, needing long-term support.
And this is vital. While it's often linked to military service, PTSD can result from any traumatic event. Absolutely any.
Not just war.
Not at all. Natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, serious accidents, assault, domestic violence, a major loss, even just witnessing something horrific.
Okay.
The key is that the event felt life-threatening or deeply disturbing, leaving that lasting psychological mark. Understanding that broad range is crucial for empathy and making sure everyone who suffers gets recognized and supported.
That makes sense. It avoids making some trauma seem less valid than others.
Precisely. It recognizes the universal impact of trauma.
Okay. Moving into diagnostics. MRI.
Magnetic resonance imaging.
Right, that high-tech imaging thing that shows detailed pictures of inside your body organs, soft tissues.
Incredible detail.
Used for everything,
Yeah.
right? Brain scans, knee injuries, finding tumors, checking spines. And like ADHD, everyone just says MRI. You never hear the full name.
Never.
And that quick grammar tip,
Yeah.
it's an MRI because it starts with that M sound.
Good point. A common slip-up.
It's just such a standard part of healthcare now.
And what's revolutionary about it, maybe not widely known, is it gets that amazing soft tissue detail without using ionizing radiation, unlike X-rays or CT scans.
Oh, right. That's a huge advantage.
Huge. It totally changed how doctors diagnose and track neurological issues, soft tissue injuries, certain cancers. It gave this non-invasive window into the body that just wasn't possible before.
Wow. So its commonness reflects its power.
Definitely. It made complex internal problems visible and understandable through just 3 letters.
Okay, next, ICU, intensive care unit.
A very serious place.
Yeah. A specialized hospital unit for critically ill patients, life-threatening conditions needing constant treatment and monitoring.
Round-the-clock care, highest level, often complex machines helping people breathe, tracking vital signs.
Right. And here, you hear both, don't you? ICU and the full intensive care unit, or just intensive care.
Yeah, both are common, but saying someone's in the ICU immediately tells you it's serious. The gravity is understood.
It's where advanced life support happens.
Exactly. Ventilators, complex monitoring, specialized drugs to keep organs going. The staff-to-patient ratio is much higher, too, because they need constant watching and quick action.
But it's also a place focused on healing, right? Getting people stable enough to move out.
Absolutely. It signifies critical illness, yes, but also intensive recovery efforts, aiming to stabilize and move patients forward.
Then there's ENT, simple one.
Ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Makes sense why they're grouped, right? Problems in one often affect the others.
Totally interconnected. Sinus infections hit the ears, allergies affect the nose and throat.
So if you've got chronic tonsillitis, ear infections that won't quit, sleep apnea, bad sinus problems, you see an ENT.
Right, or a otolaryngologist, if you want the fancy name. They handle a huge range, removing tonsils, fixing hearing, balance issues, even head and neck cancers.
Wow, quite a range. Deals with key senses and functions.
Yeah, hearing, smell, taste, breathing, swallowing. Big impact on quality of life.
Okay, last acronym for this section. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder.
A complex one.
Yeah, it involves 2 main things. Obsessions, those unwanted, intrusive thoughts or urges.
Like a persistent fear of germs.
Exactly. And compulsions, the repetitive behaviors someone feels driven to do because of the obsessions.
Like the excessive hand washing in response to that germ fear.
Right, even if it hurts them.
And this brings up that crucial point again about casual language versus clinical reality.
Ah, yeah. People use OCD very loosely, don't they?
Regrettably, yes. Someone might say, oh, I'm so OCD about tidiness, or he's a bit OCD about lining things up.
Just meaning neat or particular.
Exactly. But that casual use really doesn't capture the reality of the diagnosed disorder, which can be incredibly distressing, time-consuming, and debilitating.
It kind of trivializes the actual suffering.
It can, unfortunately. So it's vital to remember the distinction. The informal use for quirky habits is miles away from the clinical diagnosis.
Like that gas station comic example, agonizing over stopping at 10 gallons or $40.
Right. It humorously shows obsessive tendencies, but it's a stark reminder of how different that is from the real disorder. Understanding the formal definition is key for respect.
So, thinking about all this, what does it mean for understanding health overall? We've covered idioms, acronyms, but let's zoom in now specifically on mental health terms.
Good idea. It's an area where language is evolving so fast and thankfully getting more public attention.
Yeah, more nuanced, more inclusive terms are popping up.
Exactly. As our scientific grasp of the mind grows, the words we use to describe its variations and challenges have to keep pace. Better terms mean more precise, more empathetic conversations.
Definitely moves us past old, maybe stigmatizing language. Okay, first one, neurodivergent.
A really important one.
It describes people whose brains developed or function differently from what's considered typical or neurotypical.
It's an umbrella term, right, covering autism, ADHD, dyslexia, Tourette's.
Yeah. And the key idea is seeing these differences not as deficits to be fixed, but as natural variations in how human brains work.
A real paradigm shift.
Totally. It's becoming much more common in talks about brain differences, pushing for more inclusivity. That Rain Man example from your source.
Ah, Dustin Hoffman's character. Iconic.
Yeah, a powerful portrayal of autism. He'd absolutely be described as neurodivergent today. His amazing abilities in some areas alongside challenges in others really shows the concept.
And what's profound about neurodivergent is how it reframes things. It moves away from seeing differences as flaws or disabilities towards seeing them as valid, even valuable forms of human diversity. Different cognitive styles, different strengths.
So not one right way for a brain to work.
Exactly. It's about reducing stigma, promoting acceptance. Recognizing a neurodivergent brain is just organized differently.
That's a huge shift.
Okay.
Next, a more specific, maybe more advanced term. Psychosomatic.
Ah, the mind-body connection in action.
Right. It describes physical symptoms, real physical symptoms, that are actually caused or made worse by mental factors. Stress, anxiety, emotional distress.
So the mind literally affects the body's feelings.
Yeah. Like that example, her headaches were determined to be psychosomatic. The pain was real, but the root cause was mental tension.
Happens with stomach issues too, like IBS or skin conditions like eczema, even chronic pain sometimes, all worsened by mental state.
It really challenges that old idea of mind and body being totally separate, doesn't it?
Completely. It shows emotional distress isn't just in your head, it has measurable physical effects. It's crucial for holistic health needing to treat the mind when dealing with the body and vice versa.
Explains why relaxation might help physical pain.
Precisely. Or why stress weakens the immune system. It forces us to see health as this complex, integrated system. Symptoms can have layers of causes.
Super important concept. Okay, next. Comorbidity. This sounds quite clinical.
It is, generally. You'll hear it more in medical settings or read it in health reports.
And it means having two or more distinct medical conditions at the same time in the same person.
Exactly. Like the example, obesity is often a comorbidity in patients with type 2 diabetes. They frequently occur together.
Okay. Or maybe depression and anxiety together.
Very common comorbidity. Or heart disease and sleep apnea.
And it's not just that they happen together, but they interact.
Often, yes. One condition might affect the onset or severity of the other. It makes treatment tricky, needing a coordinated plan that looks at the whole patient.
Not just isolated symptoms.
Right. It's fundamental to modern medicine, acknowledging how complex and intertwined health conditions can be, especially with chronic diseases becoming more common.
Makes sense. Okay, shifting to something more positive about mental strength. Resilience.
Ah, the ability to bounce back.
Yeah, that amazing human capacity to recover from setbacks, tough times, trauma. We talk about it a lot in mental health, bouncing back from grief or stress. But it's used much more broadly too, right? Like overcoming career fails, money troubles, any disappointment.
Absolutely. It's a general term for toughness and recovery.
And it's not just something you're born with. You can build it.
Definitely. Through therapy, learning coping skills, having good support systems, even things like mindfulness practice can build resilience.
And you can use it as a noun, her resilience, or adjective, he's resilient.
And fundamentally, it's about our ability to adapt, recover, maybe even grow from adversity. It's not about avoiding pain, but about navigating it well.
Exactly. And emerging stronger. It's not being immune to stress, it's how you respond and recover. It combines inner resources like self-awareness and outer ones like support.
Which raises bigger questions, doesn't it? How can we foster more resilience individually and collectively? A profound question, especially now. It's key for individual well-being and society's health-facing challenges.
Truly powerful idea. Now, what about when resilience is maybe overwhelmed? Let's talk emotional burnout and emotional breakdown.
Okay, important distinctions here too.
So emotional burnout, that's feeling totally mentally and emotionally drained, usually from long-term stress, like in demanding jobs or caring roles.
Yes, it's that gradual wearing down of energy, leaves to feeling cynical, detached, like you're achieving less, running on empty, basically.
Like that Kermit the Frog picture, looking exhausted, slumped over.
Yeah. Symbolizing that feeling of constant overwhelm, endless tasks. It's not easy being green, indeed. That's burnout.
So it's gradual. How's emotional breakdown different?
Breakdown suggests something more abrupt, more acute, a crisis point where your coping mechanisms just collapse.
Like an inability to function.
Temporarily, yes. It's a more severe, often sudden sign of extreme psychological distress. Might need immediate help.
So burnout is the slow burn, breakdown is the sudden collapse.
Generally, yes. It highlights the spectrum of exhaustion. And it underlines why catching burnout early, setting boundaries, getting support is so vital. Preventative mental health care.
So important. Okay, last one for this section. Grounding techniques.
Practical tools for staying present.
Yeah. These are methods to help you stay in the moment, reduce anxiety. Especially useful for panic attacks, flashbacks, trauma stuff, dissociation.
When you feel disconnected or overwhelmed.
Right. They're often simple things you can do anywhere, anytime, to anchor yourself back to reality.
And they really showcase the power of conscious action in managing our mental state. They give you immediate, accessible tools for self-regulation.
How do they work?
Right.
Engaging the senses.
Exactly. Redirecting focus away from distressing thoughts towards the here and now, like focusing on your breath, feeling your feet on the floor.
Or that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing.
Right. Name 5 things you see, 4 you hear, 3 you feel, 2 you smell, 1 you taste. Or just holding a specific object. They empower you with ways to self-soothe, create safety when things feel chaotic.
Which makes you wonder, how can we use these more proactively, not just in crisis?
An excellent question. Integrating simple grounding practices into daily life could be a powerful support for general mental well-being. Okay, so building on that mind-body connection, let's pivot now specifically to the language of physical health. Equally crucial, full of precise terms we encounter all the time. Exercise, symptoms, conditions, prevention.
Absolutely. First up, cardiovascular. And it's everyday buddy, cardio. So cardiovascular, that's the adjective for the whole heart and blood vessel system, right? Your circulation.
Whole network.
But in daily life, everyone just says cardio, and usually means cardiovascular exercise, running, swimming, cycling, anything that gets the heart pumping.
Yeah, the aerobic stuff.
And the benefit's super clear. Regular cardio improves heart health, makes the heart stronger, boosts stamina. You'd say, I need to do more cardio.
And it's interesting how cardio has almost become a noun or verb itself. Go do some cardio, hit the cardio machines.
Yeah, it's totally ingrained in how we talk about exercise.
Shows how much public awareness there is about heart health and the specific activity needed. It's part of that proactive health talk, not just losing weight, but optimizing a vital system.
Definitely. Okay, next word, chronic. An adjective meaning something lasts a long time, right? Persists.
Typically 3 months or more, often manageable, but not easily cured.
And we hear it with things like chronic back pain, long-lasting pain, chronic stress, ongoing pressure, and chronic inflammation.
When something's chronic, it's not a quick passing thing. It's long-term, needing ongoing management.
And that chronic inflammation one is particularly important.
Very. It's when the body's immune response, which is normally helpful short-term, stays switched on.
So instead of healing and stopping, it just keeps going.
Exactly. A persistent, low-grade, harmful response causes ongoing redness, swelling, pain internally. And the real danger is that over time, this can silently damage tissues and organs.
Leading to serious diseases.
Yes. It's linked to heart disease, diabetes, some cancers, autoimmune conditions. So chronic signals long-lasting, persistent, and potentially serious long-term impact.
That distinction between acute, sudden, short-term, and chronic long-lasting is really key then.
Crucial. Acute things might be dramatic, but chronic conditions, while maybe less dramatic initially, can have a huge pervasive impact on long-term health and life quality. Understanding chronic helps us talk about disease management, sustained care, lifestyle factors. It highlights the need for endurance, both from the condition and the patient.
Really important distinction. Okay, from chronic issues to a much nicer phrase, in good shape.
Ah, yes, very common.
Means physically fit, healthy, generally in good condition. Sounds more natural than just physically fit, maybe. Less clinical.
Definitely more conversational. He's in good shape for his age.
But here's the cool part. It's flexibility. Your sources showed it's not just for people.
Right. You can describe things as being in good shape.
Like, the economy is in good shape, meaning it's healthy. Or, signs your heart may not be in good shape, talking of the organs function.
It's wonderfully versatile.
And isn't it fascinating how a phrase about physical health has spread metaphorically to describe optimal condition in abstract things?
It really is. It shows how we value things. Bodies, finances, machines being well-ordered, functioning optimally.
Healthy operation. Everything working as it should.
Exactly. It makes you wonder how our core understanding of physical health shapes how we perceive health in totally different areas. A deep appreciation for things working right.
Great point. Okay, speaking of things working right, how about boost your immune system?
Supporting your body's defenses.
So the immune system is that whole complex network defending us against illness. And the phrase we usually hear is to boost your immune system, right? Not really raise or strengthen.
Boost is definitely the common collocation. Implies giving it an extra push, enhancing effectiveness.
And things like good sleep are key for boosting it.
Absolutely crucial. Good nutrition, managing stress too. It's about enhancing the body's natural ability to fight things off.
And that word boost suggests a proactive approach, doesn't it? Not just waiting till you're sick.
Exactly. Fits with that whole wellness trend, preventative care, taking personal responsibility.
But it also makes you think, what actually works to boost it? Beyond sleep, how do we sort through all the health fads?
Excellent question. We need to focus on evidence-based stuff. Regular moderate exercise, balanced diet with lots of fruit and veg, gut health, reducing chronic stress. Those are scientifically backed ways to support or boost the immune system. Actionable self-care.
Good practical advice.
Okay.
Okay, finally, for physical health terms.
Yeah.
Sedentary lifestyle.
A major modern issue.
Describes living with very little physical activity, right? Lots of sitting, lying down.
Yeah. Desk jobs, remote work, easy entertainment. It's a big challenge now.
And unfortunately, it has really negative health impacts, big risks.
Huge risks. Increased risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, some cancers, even affects mental health.
Your sources had that funny visual, the recumbent cat.
Haha, yes. Playing on recumbent, meaning lying down. The cat just draped over the couch.
Perfectly captures that minimal effort vibe.
It's amusing, but a sharp reminder that while lounging is nice, being consistently sedentary is genuinely harmful. Our bodies need to move.
And it's become such a key term in health discussions now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Reflecting this big societal shift.
Absolutely. It highlights a major public health concern driven by modern life reducing physical effort.
Which raises the question, how do we fight that push towards being sedentary, individually and as a society?
Exactly. It's a call to reevaluate daily habits, find ways to build in more movement, even small bits, micro breaks, standing more, countering that default inertia. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay, so here's where it all kind of clicks together, doesn't it? We've covered so much ground today, digging into the real meaning behind all these health words and phrases.
A real journey through the language.
Yeah, from those emotional idioms like bottling things up, distinguishing pull yourself together from get your act together, nailing acronyms like MRI and PTSD,
to understanding bigger concepts like neurodivergent and resilience and chronic versus acute.
Exactly. We've seriously beefed up our vocabulary for both mental and physical health. This deep dive has given us, and hopefully you listening, a really solid understanding. Those key nuggets, distilled and ready to use.
Precisely. And more broadly, this isn't just about words, it's really about empowerment, I think.
How so?
Well, health is just so central to our lives, isn't it? Talking about ourselves, supporting others, understanding news.
Sure.
The more precisely you can understand and use these terms, the clearer your communication becomes. You can express yourself better, advocate for yourself or others, understand information more deeply.
So you encourage people to actually use these words.
Absolutely. Listen for them. Notice how others use them. Then find authentic ways to weave them into your own conversations, your writing. Make them part of your toolkit.
Right. So as you navigate your own health journey or talk with doctors or just chat about well-being, here's something to think about. How might having this richer, more precise vocabulary actually empower you to understand, express, and advocate for what truly matters in this really complex, always changing world of health?
A great question to ponder.
Definitely something to mull over. We'll be back with another deep dive soon.